Hello, and welcome back to the final day of our 2017 Irrational Passions podcast, Game of the Year Deliberations. I'm Alex O'Neill. With me, of course, always, forever, Scott Guthier.
Hello.
He's technically not always here.
Well, you're right, but Tony Horvath.
Hi.
Brian Nobishin Jackson.
Cherry
on top. That's what this episode is. I was like setting some expectations on Twitter last night. And I think George Cruz is already just angry at me.
That's good.
He did tell me that he loved me. So
that's also good.
Yeah. I feel like I balanced it out pretty well. How are you guys feeling? One last check-in before we kind of get into this.
Great.
Good.
I'm alright.
All right. Namishan, I know this is a hard day for you. So why don't you read me the categories that we're going through today? There will probably be some spoilers today. Again, worth warning.
So for day 5, we have most disappointing, worst game of the year that we didn't play but are still judging because we're assholes. Worth the wait, and then game of the year.
So, most disappointing. Not necessarily something terrible, but expectations were not met for what we wanted out of it. That's your descriptor option. I think that's accurate. George Cruz. I don't know why George's on this list.
He's been on this list for the entire year.
It's pretty funny. George, you met my expectations. You even exceeded them, I would say.
No, he still hasn't played Bayonetta, so he's still on the list.
All right. Damn.
It's like...
Damn. Mass Effect Andromeda, Ukulele, Neo, Nidhogg 2, Nier Automata, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Puzzle Fighter, Doki Doki Literature Club, Destiny 2, Wolfenstein 2, Super Mario Odyssey. Man. I forgot about the whole Bayonetta situation. Now this has changed this whole category.
Yeah, this chance. I said we should do an extra life. He's like, sure, and it never happened.
Never happened. He doesn't have a Switch yet too, so like.
Oh man.
He's thinking about getting one though. Actually, he might have gotten one. He was talking about Zelda with me recently, so he might have gotten one. Or he might have broken out the Wii U. I don't know. A couple ones. I don't think Mario needs to be on the list, especially because it really exceeded a lot for the other folks here. Just wasn't exactly what I hoped it would be, but that doesn't mean it's like I wasn't that disappointed in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know. I have no opinion about Mario.
Yeah. So, what about Nidhogg 2?
I didn't really have that high expectations for it.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the thing.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. Like I played it, I liked it, I still like it. I don't dislike it by any means. So, I understand where folks come from when they say they're disappointed with that, though.
Yeah, but like there's a few big disappointments on here.
Yeah.
That was not a big one.
No, and I don't think Neo is a disappointment either.
Yeah, we can take it off the list.
Yeah, I think
I mean, that's something you have said multiple times this year.
Yeah, like I think I am disappointed with some of the things toward the end of the game, but like as far as expectations met, like it definitely met my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more out of it, but that doesn't. Like overall, I wouldn't say I was disappointed with it. I just wanted more from it, which I think are a little different, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
And then, like, you know, like Tony said, Tony, I think, put it the best in that, like, it doesn't do anything exceptional, and I think that's what I wanted, but it doesn't do anything wrong, per se. Like, maybe there aren't enough enemy types, and it's, like, weird difficulty spikes, but, like, I think
Yeah.
It is totally fine.
I think we can go ahead and do a big sweep on Doki, Destiny 2, and Wolfenstein.
Yeah. I don't know where you're at with Destiny 2, Tony, is the thing.
It was fine. I mean, the amount of time that I put into it is more than I would expect from a game that is, marketed in the way that Destiny is anyway.
Yeah. Wolfenstein is like, I'm not surprised where I'm at with that game. And Nabashin, you love that game, so
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of it too.
And Doki, it's more of disappointment in kind of myself, somewhat more than it is the game itself.
I don't see why.
It's one of those things where like people expect me to love it, and like it seemed like it's something I actually should like, and it just doesn't do for me. It doesn't do it for me in like so many levels.
Okay, so I expected you to dislike it.
Okay.
There you go. Somebody was on your side.
It's like I watched a good, I want to say 2, maybe it was 4 hours of you playing Hatoful Boyfriend because I thought it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an idea for why you like those games.
Mm-hmm.
When I went into this one, this is only about 2 hours of that.
Mm-hmm.
And this Hatoful Boyfriend, although I wouldn't play it myself, that was at least funny to be alongside of.
Yeah,
sure.
I think
this was just painful.
I think Dream Daddy would be in the same camp as Hatoful Boyfriend too. So,
but at the same time, I'm watching Game Bros play Doki Doki Literature Club, and it's kind of like it's nice to see other people actually appreciate the game for what it really is. And though I wanted more and I expected more, and that I just didn't get, like I see that my expectations and the way I played it is differently than most people, and that's fine. And yeah, I don't know, I'm weird.
I didn't expect to like it, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think like it's also not a disappointment for Tony as well. Like, balancing it out, it's all over the map, but
it's a video game.
It's a video game.
I think Nier is on here for a little too long. I don't think we need to say why we're cutting it, but I think we just should.
I don't know. Like, I feel for me personally, Nier is a good third. If like, Marvel's
let's get your facts straight. George Cruz is a good third. Now let's get off
George
this list.
Cruz is a good third. I would rather cut Ukulele before I cut Nier. I would rather cut Puzzle Fighter, but I don't know where you're at with Puzzle Fighter, Nabashin.
Puzzle Fighter is fine. I still play it every day. I want more out of it.
All right, we'll drop those two.
But
right. So how do we feel about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
That's a good one. That's a good question, I should say.
You're
the one that played it, Nabashin.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty disappointed too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the kind of thing was I didn't really even know what I expected when I played that game. I already knew the character models were terrible. I wasn't really expecting too much of this story mode. It just turned out to be worse than I even thought it would be. Mm-hmm. And it feels just very, very light as far as content after Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had the same exact issue. I just thought they would do better than that.
Right. It's 1 was pretty good. 2 was great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
2 was great.
And they're trying to hit 2 still.
They fumbled a little bit on 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I expected them to bounce back and not do much better than 3, but better than 3. And they did worse than the worst game in the series so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also the whole taking away the X-Men thing is just that's a big knock against them for me.
Yeah, That's a big deal too. Wolverine has been a core of that series since the beginning. So
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want this on this list.
Okay. What about Mass Effect, Nier, and Marvel vs. Capcom? And I will say with Nier, I
want George Cruz on this list.
I kind of love that you want George Cruz on this list. He's listening somewhere.
He didn't play Bayonetta.
That's a big deal, George.
It's a big deal.
I mean, when I was introduced to George, he was saying "Oh, I'm this great big Platinum fan." I'm like, "Oh, dude, awesome! You play Bayonetta, right?" He's like, "No, I didn't play that yet. I'll get to it eventually." And it just never happened.
You're you had one job, George.
He had one job, and we have to let him know that he had one job. He has to have a reminder that he has one job.
Here's my thing with Nier, just to get it off. If because I know Nabashin really likes that game, and I know I'm kind of the odd one out here. But I played the original Nier this year, and I think the things that Nier Automata does that the original did, like the way it enhances those aspects is really great. But like I think it like for me it lost what made parts about that original really special, like the parts that made it better than a 7 out of 10. The really like kind of heart, like I feel like it lost the heart of the original Nier. And it's going for something totally different. It's going for a totally different message, and it's kind of encapsulated in a different tone. And I know a lot of people are definitely not on the same page with me. That's not what this is about. It's just kind of my personal expectations. It just like really lost a lot of the character and heart that made me love that first game that I played this past year. So when I was going into Nier expecting something in that realm, and I got like the coolest thing I think about Nier that a lot of people don't know is that it's a really good sequel mechanically to the original Nier. It like takes all of the original mechanics and builds off of them, but it doesn't take the heart there and build off of it. I think it just does something different, and that was a big disappointment for me. So it doesn't have to be here. I know a lot of people love that game. It just disappointed me ultimately, but I've said my piece.
Yeah, I didn't expect that one to go off with actually without anything to be said about it. I was just hoping that you'd say it and then we'd cut it, and then we'd be done.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Nabishin?
No, because I totally feel you, dude. It's like because like it was the same thing with like me with Final Fantasy last year. It's just like and like I appreciated you guys like respecting that. Like it was a big disappointment for me for what I expected and what I got. Even though we all still really like that game, and like I felt like you should say your piece as well as far as like this Nier as well.
Yeah, and like it's a weird thing. Like it's like usually I'm the person kind of cheering for the underdog, and I feel like Nier is kind of that this year, and a lot of people love it, but it just like totally didn't work for me, like in zero regard, and it bums me out more than anyone else, I think, because like I wanted that game to work for me a ton. So, but like I said, if you love it, like fuck yes, preach it, scream it to the heavens. That's what I'm doing with the games that I love, so you should do it with the ones that you love. All right, Nabishin, I want you to get this off your chest. Just talk it through.
Okay.
Do you need a bounce off partner?
I mean, if you want to, sure.
All right. Where are we starting?
I mean, like we start from like expectations and what we think of even what a BioWare game is. Because like when we started and like everything was about like about the whole face thing and all the like the glitchiness about Mass Effect Andromeda. Like I remember distinctly saying like I will fall on the sword for that because like I'm like the game's janky, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all about the story. It's all about the characters. It's all about the experiences. It's all about the journey when you play a Mass Effect game. And those things are really important to me. And like I can't believe like in every aspect in that game is just wrong. Everything is wrong with that game. That game is legitimately fucking terrible. Every inch of it. The characters are bad. The story is bad. Like the whole premise is bad. Like they're going to another galaxy. Like I think they're like asleep for like 100 years or so, or whatever. Maybe 1,000 years. I can't remember how long they were a deep sleep or whatever. So they're in a totally new galaxy, a totally new place. And what do they see? 2 different aliens. And one of the aliens is a fucking carbon copy of the fucking Collectors. So what the fuck was that even journey is for? Like, what is Mass Effect? Go and play that first game of Mass Effect, and you tell me, like, seeing Solarian, seeing a Nasari, seeing like a Krogan, and like just knowing about these races and like just being so intrigued by it, and like just going here and just seeing pretty much all the people you already knew because like they traveled with you and whatever, and then like like you're expecting to see like new races or anything new, and it's like it's nothing. It's fucking nothing. I mean, the open world in this is just like a big, ugh. Like, sure, like Mass Effect 1 was like repetitive and stuff like that, like go through the same corridors over and over again. But at least there's like a story, a meaning, and a purpose. There's an essence, there's a soul there, and this just feels so damn soulless.
Like I get what you're saying. I mean, like, yes, both Mass Effect 1, 2, and partially 3 did have issues with empty planets. But like empty planets didn't matter. Empty planets wasn't running around and exploring planets wasn't the core of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
With Andromeda falling so hard on its face story-wise, it had absolutely nothing to fall back on.
Yeah. And like
and that just makes it all the more worse.
And like you were saying, like even Mass Effect 1, which is like by far the most repetitive and janky of the Mass Effect games, like with its pop-in, like basically the way that game was when you first played it, like anytime you got to a situation where you got to meet a new character or you got to talk to someone, or even like you got to see some of the set piece moments of it, like when you go to fucking that one planet with the water that you're in the Mako for like 45 minutes and then you fight Rex. I don't remember the planet names. Vermeer. Wow, I got it.
Yeah, impressive.
I'm impressed. It's like there are these beautiful vistas, and then like it's all truncated or like punctuated by these great conversations that you have. Like that's the planet that you talk to a Reaper on. Like you talk to Sovereign or the first Reaper that you meet, not Sovereign. And it's just really great. It is Sovereign. I got there. Don't worry. It's just like the moments where you talk to Sovereign and like the intelligence from the Protheans, like the AI that you talk to, are like these amazing conversations that make the galaxy feel real and realized and big. And it seems like Andromeda has zero of that.
It's shocking like how much it's just not a Mass Effect game. Like it's almost insulting in a way. Like the cover art for the game is like him is the N7 armor, and like you're not a Spectre whatsoever. You're a Pathfinder. They're completely different things. And like later on in the game, you can like wear the armor of an N7, and people are like looking at you like that's insulting, dude. Why are you wearing that? And it's like like I don't
like you knew.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, if the glitches were like just like bad faces or whatever, that's fine. But like there's like so many like this different aspect of like the way that game is designed is just like this fucking terrible. Like you have auto cover in this game. It's just not like it's not like a cover system. Like you press a button to get in the cover. Like you have to go into like in like kind of like Tomb Raider where you just get close to a thing and like you'll auto cover. That never really worked for me. You can't control your teammates, so they just do whatever the fuck they want. So you see like Core do like her do like that dash you do when you're a Vanguard. So she'll dash in front of enemies and then she'll immediately die because like she's in front of the enemies. What are you fucking gonna do? So like she'll immediately die. There's scripting errors and like immersion breaking bugs. Like there's like fucking cutscenes where I'm walking through like solid walls and stuff like that, and it's so bad. And like another kicker for me for this fucking thing is like, even though I didn't like the game that much, Dragon Age Inquisition, same engine. It's the same fucking thing, and that was more of a Mass Effect game than that fucking game is. And because like even though like the gameplay isn't there, like the story and like the characters and what you like the general feeling of playing like a BioWare game is in that, but it's just not in this game. And what in the fucking tone in this game too is just like all over the goddamn map. Like it feels like if Shepard was like always cracking wise and stuff like that. Like and like if you got in a conversation with VR, it's like, Shepard, did you eat all the Frosted Flakes? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, or something like that. And like those are like those type of lame punny jokes in this fucking game. And I don't want to give ragging on too much because like people actually like it, and more power to you. I'm sorry.
No. When a game is this insulting, you do not say more power to you for the people that like it.
I feel
Fuck
like
them.
I feel like you're like, you know, you like what you like, but this like really disappointed you, and you have the right to like get that out there, because like you are the biggest Mass Effect fan we know. Like, I think that exists, and I think the best thing that you can say about Mass Effect Andromeda is that it is so far removed from all the other Mass Effect games that like it does not by any means take away from how special those 3 games are.
I mean, like, it just gives you more appreciation for them, even more, and I already love them, and like it's definitely just like you know, like an Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull type of thing, where it's like, oh, this thing doesn't exist. It never happened. Like, what are you talking about? What is Andromeda? I never even heard of that. The thing in the sky. Oh yeah, this is that. It's not a game.
So,
like there, like when I was thinking about it at work today, I was just getting so worked up and then just fuming about it. Like, it makes me so mad and so upset that they fucked it up that much to the point where it was like I said this year, like I don't need another Mass Effect game. Like, kill the series. You killed it for me. I don't need any more. The trilogy is fine. It's the way it ends, and that's good. Whatever. Don't even like bring it up anymore. Because like, if you can't fucking take care of like one of the most like cherished series in video games, period. People love this. Men, women, transgenders. Everybody loves this fucking game. It's like it's a transcendent type of thing, and like to fuck it up that bad and just like pretty much just like sweep it under the rug like nothing happened. To put it out in that state is fucking inexcusable. And that's like the main thing I want to say about that. There's no excuse why that game came out that way. Period.
Especially like, and we've been talking about how games have been shipping broken for a while. Like, this was the year that I feel like you started to see that change. Like, I feel like more games shipped working this year.
Not even that's working. Polished games. Games are polished are so good this year.
And like across the board, not just like Nintendo games, which have that kind of history, but
it
like
was in Persona, it was in
like Neo is a good example. That's a game that like came out and worked very well. Injustice 2 came out, and like especially after like the broken online connection of Mortal Kombat 10, like that game worked, and it worked across the board. You know, it's almost as if people like realized.
I didn't hear anything bad about Nier when it came out either.
Yeah,
No, it was perfect.
yeah.
That's a lot of pretty big polished games.
Yeah, that's just to name a few too. Like, it's just like and even like say what you will about Battlefront and its whole situation, like the game part of it, like didn't need to change. Like, it wasn't broken. It's just like it's inexcusable. You're right.
That's everything I wanted to say about it. I can't.
Well, after you said all that,
Uh-huh.
I think we should still bold George Cruz.
Where are you at, George Cruz? What are you doing right now? Because you should be playing Bayonetta. Get an Xbox One. Get an Xbox One S.
And like, here's the real question:
Yeah.
did he play Andromeda?
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Because if he did, that makes it so much worse.
If you put the
He
time
probably
in it.
liked it.
Another thing, like this one last thing about Andromeda. So like I bought that game day one, obviously. Was really upset by it. I turned it down to easy because I wanted to get it over with. Which I never do. I never put games on easy. I usually just play on normal. But like I was just getting so like tired of this fucking experience that I tried to like beat it. Still didn't beat it. Traded it in. Like it went on sale on PSN for like $7 like a few weeks ago. I rebought it. I re-downloaded it. Played it for a little bit. Went to like one of the areas where I walked through a door during a cutscene to see if it did it again. It did it again, and I turned it off and deleted it. So
the game's still not fixed.
It's
as fixed as it's ever going to be because that game is dead. No support afterwards and everything.
No support though, but it doesn't matter. That game, there is no amount of quote unquote fixing that they can do to make that game good. It's a different game. To make that game good, it's a different game.
Yeah,
exactly, 1000%. Like it's not about the fucking faces; it's about everything in that game. That's like everything.
There are no redeeming qualities to it, and even if you go ahead and you make the aesthetic kind of work again.
Mm-hmm.
It was never immersive to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You were just adding fuel to the fire that was already there
Yeah, and like
at every step of the way.
Mass Effect is one of those series that like all four of us have played and loved to different degrees, or at least like. Yeah, this is just a bummer, dude. Like we all like that franchise. None of us would have wanted this to happen.
All right, most disappointing. We got Mass Effect Andromeda with George Cruz and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as runners-up.
Get your shit together, George. And EA, I guess.
I was gonna say get your shit together, just EA.
Worst game of the year that we didn't play, but we're still judging because we're assholes. This is always a fun category. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle.
That game's fantastic. Why is it on this list?
Is that a Platinum game?
No.
Okay, I thought that was like one of the Activision Platinum.
Nah.
Okay. Drawn to Death.
That game's great.
Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back.
Also pretty good.
Life of Black Tiger. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, me neither.
And Double Dragon 4.
Easily the best one on the list.
Easily.
Yeah,
man.
Life of Black Tiger is that game where you play as a tiger. It was a game that's like it's the poster child of like like this bad like PC Steam Greenlight garbage being on PSN. Remember, like, because like it got advertised on the store for whatever reason, like it was supposed to be something special. But it's like it's just like one of those like garbage shovelware type of games.
Okay. Y'all seen this fucking Bubsy game? It's rough. I mean, like, I just don't know why they brought Bubsy back in general.
It's interesting the way they brought him back too, because like the advertisement, like
yeah, there was like a whole like hype build up to it. There was one on Halloween where like a kid dressed up as Sonic the Hedgehog like came to his house, and then Bubsy just looks at the camera and just like slowly just walks away. And so I don't know what you're trying to say, but like okay. I got like an email in my Irrational Passions email that's just like guess who's back, and it's like this big picture of Bubsy, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like this is the whole press release. It's weird. That Bubsy game doesn't seem that good. What is
$30 too?
$30?
Yeah, it's only like an hour long. No, barely an hour long, I think.
HowLongToBeat.com.
I think Patrick beat it in an hour long. I went stream and like it was over.
It was all over from there. Drawn to Death. Did you end up playing that, Namashin?
No.
I guess that would disqualify it.
Yeah, exactly. I think I played the beta a long time ago, but that's about it. I didn't really play the actual game when it released, when it came out for PSN for free. But no, yeah. I don't want anything to do with that game. My God.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's a lock for me.
Yeah. Like that. Like.
See, there's a series. It wasn't like a great series called Drawn to Life.
Mm-hmm. And this is like an insult.
This is like.
Yeah, like
not only in its name, but in how it does everything else as well.
Yeah, man, Drawn to Life was cool. According to How Long to Beat, Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back is an hour and a half long. It's reaching, I think.
2 hours would be reaching.
Although Bubsy 3D Bubsy Visits the James Turrell retrospective is 15 minutes long, which is that's a fun experience.
Yeah, we can keep that one on here too. Let's go ahead and learn about this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game.
I wish I knew more about Life of Black Tiger.
I want to know about that Tiger's life.
It just kind of seems like a shovelware game.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, there have not really been shovelware games in a long time.
Oh, but they've reduced. There's a bunch of them still.
Oh, wow.
Mostly on Steam.
I mean, if you do like a quick gameplay trailer of it, you'll see what that game is.
I'm looking at screenshots and I see what this game is.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
But yeah, it's literally just one of those games that are like pushed out on the Steam green light to like just get out there and like make a quick buck or whatever, and it's on the PSN store, so it's like
It's on PS4, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, where's the
Jesus.
curation? Like,
Holy crap!
yeah, that game is something else.
Oh my goodness, this is bad. You remember that game that came out a few years ago on Xbox Live, like the motorcycle game? You know what I'm
Local
talking-
Cycle?
No, not Loco Psycho. Jesus, like even the preview trailer looks so bad. It was like a game like where you played like oh my god, he just like grabbed a shark in his teeth. It was very it's a game where you like played, you're like in a biker gang, I guess. It's like Shadows of Fury or some dumb name like that. You know what I'm talking about. It's really bad. It looks like that is what I'm saying.
Okay, so what I think this list is looking like is the Power Rangers game, Drawn to Death, and Bubsy. Because at the very least, Double Dragon has some humor value to it, even though it's an inside joke.
Yeah, I just can't believe they made a numbered Double Dragon sequel this year. I don't know, man. Life of Black Tiger.
I think it's Drawn to Death, Life of Black Tiger, and Bubsy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just, man, that Life of Black Tiger. I think Drawn to Death is just
Yeah,
Good game.
I'd like Drawn to Death to take this one.
it's just
Like-
rough, man.
Like, if we could play like a track of like just
Yo, fuck.
that announcer in that game, ugh.
I could do that. I could make that happen.
Yeah, if you could find it.
Drawn to Death announcer. Let's see.
Because like it's something you constantly hear when you play that game. It's just like literally the fucking worst shit.
Drawn to Death, bad teammate. Maybe let's see. I'll just play a little bit of gameplay. Maybe it'll come up. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Jesus Christ. Is the announcer just talking the whole time?
Yeah, he talks the whole time. Like, hey, suck my dick. Come on, guys. Like the last time I had a real big boner was when I like saw some little kids or something like that. It's like that over and over again. It's like it's just really just.
Yeah.
This music is a little upsetting. It just like seems way too high octane. Wow. Okay.
Oh wait, here's a good one. I'll give you a link.
Okay.
It's just the announcer.
Oh yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Can you text
Anyways.
it?
In the chat.
Oh, okay. No. Let me just have this one, Scott.
I was gonna say before you play it, let's go ahead and read it off.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, worst game of the year that we didn't play, but we're still judging, specifically because I'm an asshole. All right, winner, Drawn to Death. You'll see why soon. With runners up, Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back and Life of Black Tiger.
Shout out to Life of Black Tiger.
You got it.
One
Alex.
time.
Not
Yeah,
really.
I got it. Give me a
Okay.
sec.
Special weapon cooldown activated. I tell you, man, this is my favorite of all the buff coins. It's super fun and powerful. You want to know a secret? So I so wanted to sell this shit in the game store. Great idea, right? We'd have had bank, you know? Then the game makers were all like, nah, man, that'll all be pay to win. That'll be paid for power. You can't do that.
This is real.
This is real.
Agreeing and shit and saying stuff like, oh, good point, you guys. But that's only because I need this job, right? But deep inside, man,
He just keeps
deep
going.
Inside,
Jesus.
I'm so thinking, way to leave money on the table, you fucking hippies. Yeah, guys.
Oh
what
my-
a dumb
He's
idea.
still going on the
These
same
players
bit.
Actually want. Boy, that is stupid. So hey, don't mind me. I'll just keep taking the bus into work for the foreseeable future, because I sure as shit can't afford a car. Okay, guys?
Wow.
Yeah, no, all good. It's so not a problem.
It would have been
That's what I'm
fine.
saying.
It would have honestly
But I
been
didn't say
kind of funny
anything. Like,
if he had
none of
just cut it off at the pay to win
fucking
part.
game dev hippies.
It was 1 minute and 13 seconds. And it felt like my whole life.
It honestly, if it were two different clips where there was just the guy saying a random clip at the beginning, and then a second separate clip started, or like at a different time.
Yeah, or like he
where it
referenced
ended
back
where
to it.
Ended at pay to win. Then it would have been fine.
And if he
But
like
no,
had a
it's
different
all
voice.
one clip. It's all one clip.
That was, yeah, Jesus, man. All right, well, Drawn to Death, congratulations. The Worth the Wait Award. Games that seem to take forever to come out from the initial announcement that met or surpassed expectations. Cuphead, Gravity Rush 2, Neo, Persona 5, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, South Park, The Fractured But Whole, and Tekken 7.
The category created so that someday, many years down the road, Kingdom Hearts 3 might win.
Fucking maybe. Fingers crossed, y'all. Hopefully it's all going to be worth the wait. 15 years. Keep the dream alive.
I think
So-
it's worth to mention, like when the announcement happened and like
Yeah. That's
when
what
it
I
actually
said.
came out.
So Persona 5 was initially announced in, what, 2012? No, 2014, 2015? I think it was 2015. Winter of 2015. But, like, obviously people have been anticipating that since Persona 4 came out in 2009 or 2008. Breath of the Wild was announced in 2011? No, 2012? It's 5 years total, I think, was the development of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hellblade was announced, 3 years ago, 2014, right?
Yeah.
South Park was right after Stick of Truth came out. So that must have been 2014 as well.
Yes.
Like E3 2014.
No, no, you're never mind. You're right.
Tekken 7, I have no idea when that was announced.
I'll look real fast.
Okay. Neo was announced like 8 years ago.
Yes, 10 years ago.
Jesus. And like we didn't know about it. Like Tony and I think I don't want to speak for Tony, but I didn't know about it until like the beta. Apparently it began development in 2004. Jesus.
Oh, 2004. Oh, okay. Tekken was announced in development at 2014.
Okay, 2014. 3 years, okay. Cuphead was announced with the Xbox One, right?
Yes, it was in the trailer with Xbox One.
Yeah, so that was May 2013. So that's 4 years. Gravity Rush 2, when was that announced?
Because like it announced when the Vita was still pretty much still a thing, because everyone thought Gravity Rush 2 would be a Vita game, and it turned out to be a PS4 game. And it got announced at TGS. Let me see real fast. 2013.
Okay. Damn. That's longer than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
By the looks of it, it kind of seems like this list is going to end up being Cuphead, Persona 5, and Legend of Zelda.
I like that.
I think Neo was worth that wait.
I think so too.
Because it changed it had to change what it was like multiple times,
Mhm.
and this to be something, even though it's like a Souls-like, I think it actually did it better than anyone would ever expect it to be.
Yeah, I just like I would say like things that anticipated or surpassed that more, like the expectation more for me would be Zelda or Persona or Cuphead. Especially because like I didn't really know about Neo until about 2015, 2016, when like it was like reintroduced for PS4. It's another game that should be on Xbox One probably. Just like throw it out there. I'm not trying to pull up old wounds.
It's on PC.
It's on PC. It's on PS4. Just saying. Although like the PC release was a little staggered, but still.
Yeah, it was, but it's still here.
Yeah.
I don't see why it wasn't a dual release. Is what I'm saying.
In the same breath as well, Gravity Rushes was worth the wait for me.
Yeah.
But considering like those 3 heavy hitters, I think that'll be good enough for this list.
Okay.
Yeah.
What wins?
I mean, I don't want to pretend like Persona 5 is not going to win.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll say 2 things though. Cuphead, I think there was a lot of reason to be really worried about that game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of reason to be worried about that game.
And they ended up really nailing it, I think. I know there are a lot of people that don't like Cuphead. I read like a kind of scathing review earlier this week. It was a very brief review, but I was like, man, this is a bad take. That was just me, because I think it really hits what it's going for. And Breath of the Wild is the same deal. Like, I was definitely worried about that game at a point, but like, what was cool was we got A Link Between Worlds in the interim, and we got to see how they were trying to mix things up. And then Breath of the Wild definitely goes all the way for it.
It really wasn't until like the E3 before it came out until like people actually knew what that game was and was actually confident with that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And how much they were changing. But like, I've been waiting basically my entire life for Persona 5. And it's great.
So good.
So worth the wait. Persona 5 runners up being Breath of the Wild and Cuphead.
Want to take a real quick break before we tackle this part?
What we could do is we can take a break now, or we could take a break when we get it down to 10. It's up to you.
I just have to pee. That's all.
Okay, then we'll take a break now. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back with our last category.
Yep. I'm also gonna go get a glass of water.
Choo choo choo.
Choo choo choo. Cool. I will grab another drink. I'll be right back.
yet? No, thank you. No. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
How you doing, Tony?
I mean, that's a way to transition into that.
I was just asking.
Well, I meant you, the grunt.
Oh, yeah, true. You back now, Mission?
Mhm.
Welcome back. Tony, you here?
I literally just sat down.
Okay. I was wondering
But
why
I
you
mean, that's a yes.
I was wondering why you never responded to me. All right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Game of the year, top 10. So this is it's going to be a little bit different. We are going to basically create a top 10 list that represents our podcast. Again, not necessarily weighted based on our top 10 list. It's just kind of us talking it through, discussing it, feeling what we should be, where and what games should be on the list. It will be a numbered list from 1 to 10. 1 being our podcast game of the year, and 10 being the 9th runner-up. So I'm going to read through what we have here. We'll add anything that's missing, and then we'll kind of work our way from there, and we'll kind of explain our process we typically rely on every year. So, the list. Gravity Rush 2, Yakuza 0, Persona 5, Tales of Berseria, Neo, Resident Evil 7, Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Flint Hook, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Super Mario Odyssey, Sonic Mania, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Destiny 2, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, Cuphead, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, Friday the 13th, Doki Doki Literature Club, Metroid Samus Returns, Injustice 2, Pyre, and Night in the Woods. Is there anything missing here?
Don't
Speak now or
so.
forever hold your peace. I tried to, like, when we were doing our top 10 show, I tried to add in anything that
Same.
surprised me or anything. Do you have anything, Tony?
I think we're good.
All right. So typically, what we do? How many games do we have here? We count. I could always just switch this over to numbers, and we have 24. First step is to kind of narrow it down to 10, and then from there we'll kind of number it out.
So
usually what we do is
easy cut section.
Yeah, usually what we do is we go around, each of us take turns taking something off the list. And our kind of rule of thumb is all of our personal game of the years are almost definitely going to be on the list. So that's Zelda, Persona 5, and Super Mario Odyssey. So we can mark those and kind of go from there. So, who wants to start?
You should start.
Okay. I will. God, it's always weird because every year I gotta cut one of Nobshin's games first.
I was thinking it, but I was...
Okay, well, hold on. Why do you gotta do that?
Exert my dominance,
Just go for one of Tony's games.
No,
there's a game that Tony will cut himself on here. There's several of them.
No, I mean like the it's a give and take, right? You could cut one of yours. And it's an easy cut, and you're a coward, or you can cut someone else's, and you're a monster.
Exactly. Cut one of Tony's.
I'm trying to think which one of Tony's I could cut.
Definitely just not give a shit about.
I could. You know what? I'm gonna take the coward's way out, Scott, and you'll be proud of me. I'm gonna cut Metroid: Samus Returns.
I'm okay with that.
I think everybody's okay with that.
I'm glad you're okay with it, Tony.
You want to
say your piece on it?
Metroid: Samus Returns is a Metroid game in the year of our Lord 2017. Fucking finally, someone just made one. And it was a remake of Metroid 2, which was the other Metroid game that came out in 2016. Another Metroid 2 remake, which was very good, but obviously got pulled down. Nintendo stealth announced it after their showing at E3. It wasn't even in there. It's a 3DS game. Pretty much has no right to exist, but I'm really glad that it does. It's very, very good. It's very faithful to Metroid 2, and it accentuates the few good things about Metroid 2 while modernizing it and making it really great. And it's a great 3DS game. If you still have a 3DS, if you still like playing games on it, I would recommend it. But it is not, I think, representative of all of us, our top 10 games of the year. Scott.
All right. You see, the one of the ones that I was eyeing is Friday the 13th over here. This is a fine cut. It's just easy. I'm doing it right now.
Do you have any?
You're gone.
Do you have any words, Tony, that you'd like to throw at Friday the 13th?
Game's cool, has a lot of problems.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
How hard was that?
It wasn't hard. I was looking at Friday the 13th. I just I have a reputation that I'm trying to get away from. Tony.
Does Wolfenstein 2 make this list?
No.
All right.
Nobshin.
Gravity Rush 2. It's something I feel is a very another example of a very polished game, a game that took its time to come out and was absolutely what it the first game was, and so much more. Visually and mechanically, I feel like the game is very, very, very fun and very, very stylized and very just a cool ass game to play. I just love it to death. It was something I played. That was I think the first game I played of 2017, and it stuck with me for an entire year. And yeah, that game is very special to me. But it can go.
I'm glad they made a sequel to Gravity Rush because they didn't have to, and they did, and I'm glad that it is as cool as it is. Back to me. Sorry, I'm creating our second list up top here for things that we either aren't ready to cut or are going to loop back around to. Whoops, god damn it. Injustice 2.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say about it, Scott?
Not particularly.
Mhm.
Out of all of the fighting games that studio did, I would that's probably the worst one they've done in a while.
Really? Okay.
Really, because there is the whole stuff with the marketplace things, but it's I think Injustice 1 played better.
Okay. I love Injustice 1. You know that, so.
And they did a couple of cool things with some of the playable characters, but it still didn't feel all that great to play.
Mm-hmm.
The story was interesting, but they kind of chowed out most of the characters.
Okay.
Not all of them, but most of them.
I do love that they put Swamp Thing as a playable character in a fighting game.
Yeah, and they also
cool.
put in Solomon Grundy in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they did a few cool things with some of the playable characters. Yeah, they did. Pretty sure they did.
I thought he was in the first game.
He was in the first game.
That's true. That's
I
true.
don't think he's in Injustice 2.
Okay.
No.
Blue Beetle.
Maybe it's just blending in at this point.
Blue Beetle's a cool character though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. I like after watching Young Justice, I think Blue Beetle is very cool. Shout out to Young Justice.
He's not very good in this though.
Okay.
I think he plays okay,
Okay.
but I don't think his character is not very good in this.
Okay. Scott.
Let's go for Literature Club. We're dropping
I think for this list, it doesn't make it to the top 10.
Okay.
Is there anything that you'd like to say about it before it goes?
No, it's okay.
Are you sure, Tony? I want you to say your piece.
Say your piece, dude.
I think a lot of the reason why I like this game has nothing to do with the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot to do with the game that is sort of attached to the game files and is a teaser for a game that is coming out this year, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that I've shown to Alex. I don't know if he's seen it all yet.
I haven't seen it all yet.
It's super cool, and I'm really excited for the game that will come out that is using the same characters as this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Doki Doki Literature Club is, actually. It's a teaser for the next game by Team Salvato. And that's super exciting. So hopefully we'll be talking about that game next year.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Nabashin.
Pyre?
Yeah. If Doki's not making it, Pyre's not making it. Just for, this list. I think Pyre is very, very cool. It might be my favorite Supergiant Games game. I might like it more than Bastion. And the more time I spend away from it, the more I like it. Like, the more it kind of sits with me. Like a fine wine.
I don't know. I could see Pyre on this list.
I have another horse in this race. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and fight for Pyre for, like, a number 10 spot over, let's say, another game. So I'm okay letting it go. But I think Pyre is a very cool game, and I think people should play it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you like visual novels, it's got some of that. If you like Rocket League, it's got some of that. And if you like Oregon Trail, it's got some of that.
Like 2/3 of those things.
Yes. And it meshes them together in a smart way that I've not seen in games before. But we can say goodbye.
No. Damn it. Nobshin has to do it.
I'm sorry, Nabashin. I took the power away from you.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. All right. Ooh, it's getting tough now.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a few gimmies.
There's a few.
But like by the time it comes back to you again, it's gonna be the worst.
Yeah. I think we can probably let Resident Evil 7 go.
Yeah.
Which is
All
a
right.
bummer. Because I think Resident Evil...
You're the only one who's rooting for it.
Yeah.
I enjoy the idea that they came back with a more horror-oriented Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't go out and even try to come over to your house to play it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool in VR.
Which is probably rude of me at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't leave my house. That's rude of me. So, like, we'll just we'll meet in the middle, Scott. It's fine. It's cool. Like you said, Scott. I'm glad they went back to horror, and I'm glad they fixed that series, in my opinion. And I think they're in a good spot to do some cool stuff with that franchise now. Hopefully, they actually do it, and they don't look at a little bit underwhelming sales of Resident Evil 7 and try and go back to 6. I hope they continue down the path that they've started on. Scott.
All right. Cuphead?
No.
No.
No? All right. I'm not gonna try too hard for this one because I think there's a couple other easy cuts.
Yeah.
Like, so are we doing this where I had my chance, I failed, time to move on, or do I take another stab till I get it?
How about for now we'll move on,
All right.
and that'll kind of help us narrow down the ones people want off the list, and we'll kind of come back to it. Tony,
how many have you guys cut?
Let's see what we're down to.
We only have 3 more to cut.
Yeah, we only have 3 more to cut.
I mean, like, how many have you cut, Alex, total?
3, I believe.
Yeah, because I've done 1. So you guys skipped me once.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tony.
So I'm just gonna exert my power.
Okay.
And I think that the 2 games on this list that aren't gonna make it are probably Tales of Berseria and probably Yakuza 0.
I think there's a game that should be cut before Yakuza 0.
Oh, I really think Tales of Berseria is like a really good number 10, y'all.
I don't know. I think there are better number 10s on this list.
You're probably right.
Can I send out a suggestion?
Yeah.
I'm asking Tony if that's okay.
Okay.
I would cut Sonic Mania before I would cut Yakuza 0.
That's fair.
And after Sonic Mania is gone, I definitely think Tales of Berseria is the weaker one.
It's very good.
But I mean, like, I think you want Hellblade on this list more than Tales of Berseria.
I mean,
Let me just correct this grievous spelling error.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was not enough capital letters in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
How they actually spell it?
That's
okay. Let me go ahead and fix this one more time because
No. PlayerUnknown's on the list.
No,
we don't need the entire thing.
Plunk bat.
You see, at this point, Tony's just mad at me.
What's the temperature? Scott, you gave me your case. Tony wants to cut. What about you, Nobishin?
Because like the bottoms on this list for me is going to be Yakuza 0 because that's Nobishin only.
Mm-hmm.
I think we cut Sonic Mania first of all.
Yeah. After Sonic goes down, Tales of Berseria because that's pretty much Alex only.
Yeah.
There's Neo. I think it's one of the better of the
Neo
2.
is real good.
Tony really likes it, and Alex like, it's good. Then we have Hellblade.
Mm-hmm.
Flint Hook because it's just me.
Yeah.
Kinda. I think it's really good, and this is Flint Hook's on the same tier as Neo for me.
Mm-hmm.
What are we feeling about Destiny 2?
I think Destiny 2 did enough to be on the list. I don't think that it's a top 5 game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Totally.
Yeah, I think it's below top 5, definitely above top 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Scott. Like, Tails is mine, Neo is Tony's, Yakuza is Nobishin's, Flint Hook is yours.
It's kind of mine, but it's both of us at the
it's
same
both
time.
of us. Like, I could see Flint Hook, like, in, like, the mid
so it's like
10 to 8s, like, or 10 to 5s, like. But, like, Nobishin and I both really like Hellblade. I think all of us like PUBG. I think we could probably move PUBG up out of here.
Yeah. Sure.
And
I don't think you're gonna let Danganronpa go.
I like it.
I'd let Danganronpa go for Tales of Berseria. I don't know where you're at with that, Namashin.
I would put Yakuza above Danganronpa.
So it sounds like we could probably let Danganronpa
okay.
go.
I thought you guys felt a little better about it.
I feel good about it.
I
Like,
love Danganronpa V3.
it's just like there are a lot of good games this year. Okay.
I know. But if you guys want to keep Yakuza 0 and Tales of Berseria over Danganronpa,
Yeah, no, that we gotta let it go.
Mm.
Let my son fly.
that's 10.
Is that
Isn't
10? No, that's 5 up here. Let's.
No, it's 12.
No,
We gotta
it's 11.
Yeah, we gotta get this list down to 7.
Yeah.
So. Fuck. Well, here we are.
Okay, what did we just cut? Sorry.
We got rid of Danganronpa.
Oh, okay.
Sonic Mania is amazing, by the way. Just one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Sonic Mania
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah,
really
whatever.
great. Hey, fuck your game. Oh fuck, man. I get it.
Whose turn is it?
It was Tony's, and then it became yours, and now Tony. I think Tony's right. We're gonna have to let go of Tails. Like, I get it.
I'm playing that like in the next week, so
It's really good. But I'll let it go. I'm not gonna try and fucking fight about Tails. I think it is the best game in that series in a long time, and people should play it if you like JRPGs. Cameron Abbott's playing it. Better than Symphonia, I think.
Damn, Lloyd's fucking mad at you right now.
Lloyd is mad. He's hella mad. Colette, she out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cameron Abbott's playing it right now. He's texting me about it, and it's just very exciting. I'm sure Tony, when you were playing it, you'll talk to me about it. I'm excited.
I'm gonna text you about it.
Please do. And it sounds like
So what's up? We got Night in the Woods or
I to
what?
drop Destiny 2.
I'm not.
I feel good about Destiny 2 on this list.
All right.
I would still let go of like Neo or Yakuza 0.
What about Night in the Woods?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah. All right. Well then, move that up. Move this up. Well,
So we need 3 more from this bottom 6.
Yeah.
And I think that they
for
are
listeners, we've pulled up that Persona 5, Zelda, and Super Mario Odyssey are going to be on the list in some degree. We've pulled up Cuphead, PlayerUnknown's, and Night in the Woods and Destiny 2. And
I think that by the fact that no one has talked about Nier should be up there.
I agree.
I was gonna go for it next, but
I think
Because we
Nier
won.
should be on the overall list. I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
And then we'll move that up. And so like we have to pick what, 2?
I would take Horizon over Neo.
So yeah, it's Yakuza, Neo, Horizon, Flint Hook, and Hellblade. I would take Horizon over Neo as well. Fuck. This isn't good.
Hey, I'm just gonna put this out there. I'd take Flint Hook over Cuphead.
I wouldn't. I don't think it has to be one or the other. Also,
No,
I think we
doesn't.
should open the list again.
okay. I did it.
yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, so how much do we need to cut off right now?
We need to cut 2, I believe. Let me see. Yeah,
I don't necessarily think PlayerUnknown's needs to be on this list.
I do.
I think it should be on the list.
I'm not against it, but I'm not also with it as well.
Boy, I still think Yakuza 0 is the weak link here. I know that's like so mean, Abishin.
I do Yakuza 0 before Cuphead.
Fuck.
All right.
Oh, dude, I really like Cuphead.
Look, like I'm like honestly like not choosing between
What about
the two.
what
What do we feel
Hellblade?
about between Destiny 2 and Battlefield? I mean, Battlegrounds.
I think that both should be on the list.
I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just like, as far as like, how do we feel about both those games?
I would feel stronger about Destiny 2 than PlayerUnknown's, personally.
I think personally I'm the opposite.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
I would say I would rather have Battlegrounds than Destiny 2, honestly.
Then maybe we should.
I think that I would keep Destiny 2 over the 2 games on the bottom of the list, Flinthook and Hellblade.
I feel very strongly about Hellblade.
I think
I would
Hellblade's
take,
a real strong 11.
I think Hellblade is a real strong 10 if that's what's going to get it on the list. I feel stronger about Hellblade than I do about Cuphead. And if nobody here is feeling great about Cuphead, then we can let
I don't know.
it
I've
go.
already said my piece on Cuphead. I don't really like it.
Yeah, I had every opportunity to play it, and I think it's cool that it happened. I'd probably enjoy the time that I spent with it, but I don't think it's worth it for me to actually go and do it
Then it sounds like Cuphead
on my own volition.
is going to go.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. Like, this is where we're at, all right?
I know.
Look, dude, we all get it. Cuphead should be higher, but
I think Cuphead should be higher.
I got to that point, by the way, and good God.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I still think it's between Flinthook and Hellblade.
Dude, man, I look at a Cuphead for Hellblade. I'm making compromises over here.
I still don't think that Destiny 2 is all that strong here.
I think Destiny 2 is stronger than Flinthook.
Eh.
Destiny 2 is a fucking good video game.
It's a great video game.
You went back for Destiny 2, I want to say a bit shorter than I went back for Flint Hook.
I don't know, man. You want to know how much Destiny 2 I played?
I really don't. I feel like it's probably a gross number.
I don't know because it's not on Steam, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. Does that Destiny 2 tracker work on the PC version?
Oh, that's true.
I'm curious. I genuinely don't know. So
It does.
How's that expansion again for Destiny?
I like it a lot.
I didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it.
A lot of
the
people.
reason why I'm waiting for the game to come out with another expansion, so I can do them both at the same time, and there'll be enough content for me to feel like it was worth it.
A lot of people don't like Curse of Osiris. I do. Listen, I would let Destiny 2 go.
All right, here's what I got.
Okay.
Destiny 2 so far 201 hours.
Okay. What version is that?
That's both PS4 and PC.
Okay.
That seems low for you, honestly.
Well, Destiny 1 was 430, and the game was out. Destiny 1, I played every expansion. Destiny 2, it was only the base game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You can't compare something to Black Desert Online's 5,000 hours. And
Don't say
Yeah,
that
that
word,
game's open
dude.
24/7.
Like, oh God. 5,000? I would cut Horizon. I would cut Yakuza. And at this point, I would cut Nier, but I get that.
I honestly think at this point that Destiny 2 is the weak link.
If Scott wants to let it go, if Nobshin wants to let it go, I'm okay with it letting it go. And I know, Tony, you would rather cut Flint Hook or Hellblade, but like I'm not moving on Hellblade. And I know Scott's probably not gonna move on Flint Hook.
all right, guys. I got a dark horse.
Okay.
What if we cut this game?
I hate you. How about that? What if we did that? No, but we're not cutting Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch.
What if we cut Horizon?
I don't know, man. Horizon's like my Hellblade.
I know. I'm saying it doesn't feel good when someone does that to you.
What about Night in the Woods?
No, absolutely not. No, that game is something else. It's something special. It's it invokes emotions that most games don't do, and then and all you're doing is just talking to people in that game. So it's like it's basically everything that I love about Persona 5, just without the dungeon crawling.
Okay. Like I Night in the Woods, everything you say about it makes me want to play it. So everything I've heard about it makes me want to play it too. So
I'm comfortable giving Night in the Woods credit. I'm not comfortable giving Yakuza, Horizon, or Hellblade credit.
I'm like, Yakuza is my weak link here.
Yeah, hearing that, it's mine as well.
I think Yakuza is a fantastic video game, and it's fantastic for so many reasons. Like not to mention like it has a fantastic story, great characters, and like it's such a lived-in world because like it's just Tokyo in the 80s, and so like you get to experience that and experience like all the stuff you can do in it as far as like playing old arcade games or just throwing money in the air just so like guys won't come after you, and it's so genuine with like the story and how it feels, and like it's so deep too as far as like that story. Like I said, like it's melodrama as fuck and everything, but like with the best characters, like I was mentioning with Majima and Kiryu, like and like where it leads to the next games where with Nishiki just like portrays Kiryu, and like there's that whole dynamic for Yakuza Kiwami, and like and of course later on in the series where you like see Majima and everything like that. It's like I think it just does everything so right and so well. A polished as fuck game as well too. I feel really strongly about Yakuza 0.
What do you feel outside of Destiny option? What do you feel the weakest about here?
Probably Flint Hook, but that's just my opinion. I didn't really connect with that game. I have that game. I didn't really connect with it, but like I know how Scott feels about it, and like and from his experience with it, I feel as passionate he is about it. I think that definitely should make the list.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, hearing people's arguments for games, like I'm okay letting Destiny 2 go.
Yeah, I mean it's fine with me.
Okay. It sucks, but
But a Curse of Osiris didn't have to.
Yeah. Sick burn, Scott. All right. Yeah. Give us.
What if we just what if we just took this game, right, and we put it like thereabouts, and we said we were done?
In no particular order, currently, our top 10 games of the year are Persona 5, Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Night in the Woods, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0, Horizon Zero Dawn, Flint Hook, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
I think Yakuza 0 should be at the bottom. That is a very me game. I understand that, and like other games are more people could talk about and be more passionate about, and I just really like Yakuza.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like there's about 3 games here that I'm pretty sure that if I played, I just wouldn't like, and that's Night in the Woods, Hellblade, and Yakuza 0. So, for me, I think we go ahead and we drop Night in the Woods right above Flint Hook.
I agree.
Okay,
and then. Alex, I know you're going to be all over that game.
I think Nier should be somewhere near the bottom, just because, like I said, me and Alex, I really like that game, and like, but like not for the amazing reasons that everyone else has, and Alex has issues with that game, which is fine, and like, I can see that being under Night in the Woods, and probably even under Flint Hook, honestly.
I could see that as well.
I haven't played enough.
I think when we flip, I think when we flip Legend of Zelda and PlayerUnknown's, we're just about good.
I know Tony doesn't like Zelda.
No, I don't dislike Zelda. It's just okay.
Yeah, but like you say that in such a way that implies that you dislike it.
No, I don't dislike it.
I know. I'm just saying
It's
the way
just
you were.
not as good as everyone says it is.
I think it is better than everyone says it is. Like that's how strongly I feel about it. I love that game.
I honestly could see Zelda being above Super Mario Odyssey.
I could too. Like that's.
I don't know. I haven't played Super Mario Odyssey. So.
I love Super Mario Odyssey, but I don't love Odyssey as much as Alex loves Zelda.
Like
so is this list Persona, PUBG, Zelda, Odyssey?
I think it's Persona, Zelda, PUBG, and Odyssey.
let me.
Maybe Odyssey above PUBG. I don't know how we feel about that.
I think PUBG's real good.
I think PUBG's really good.
I really like PUBG.
That was what Tony said. How about that?
Can we also move Night in the Woods to number 5?
No, man. Horizon deserves that top 5 slot.
I don't know.
That game's so good. Everything except for Child, so good.
Yeah, once again, that was one of the 3 games that if I had played it, I'd be pushing to put Flint Hook above it.
I having played a lot of Horizon, I like that game a lot. I think it is comfortable in the top 5 spot.
Oh boy.
I'm not really saying it doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying Night in the Woods is real good.
So what you're saying is Night in the Woods is better than Super Mario Odyssey. Or are we saying
I am saying that, yes. I am
okay.
I don't know, like
Is Night in the Woods better than Zelda?
For me, yes. I think it's the second. I think it's the best game in this year other than Persona 5. But I'm alone in this island, and I understand that. So like that's why I was only trying to move it a little bit, not a lot.
I'm not trying to like knock out like Scott really likes Super Mario Odyssey. Like I'm not trying to like.
I put that above. I put that above.
Okay, 4. What if we swap Zelda and Night in the Woods?
Would you? I'm curious, Scott. Would you put Mario above PUBG?
Absolutely. I said that a while ago.
Okay, I missed it.
That was the first thing that we started arguing about.
Okay.
You guys just kind of ignored it.
I'm sorry, Scott.
I agree with that decision as well.
I like that.
I mean, the Discord group went ahead and we played, I want to say, 8 other games between time that came out? For good reason.
So just to catch listeners up, because again, like this is very visual, I'm trying to make it so people listening at home. Currently, the list from 1 to 10 is Persona 5, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the top 5. Night in the Woods, Flint Hook, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0. That's the bottom 5. I like this.
I still think Night in the Woods should be above Horizon.
Night in the Woods should be higher.
What? No. Hell no.
I don't think.
Would you play Horizon, Scott?
I would probably finish Horizon.
Game's fucking great.
I think Scott would play Horizon before he would play Night in the Woods.
That game's like Dark Souls
Here's the thing.
I like this hypothetical situation.
It would probably be not on the same level as Doki, but in the same vein as it.
It is not the
I'd pair the two together in a heartbeat.
I think Scott would bounce off of Night in the Woods though.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that he wouldn't. I'm saying like don't compare Doki to fucking Night in the Woods. At least that's how.
Why? I think Doki's better than Night in the Woods.
Of course you do, Tony. You didn't play Night in the Woods.
I would, and probably still like Doki better.
You probably would, but I'm just saying Night in the Woods is really great.
I like. Listen, if I had all the power in the world, I would put Night in the Woods above Horizon. But I like Horizon a lot, and I know Tony loves Horizon.
Game's great.
And in
Game's better than Zelda.
All right, I don't think that
Game's
far.
better than Zelda by a lot.
I very much disagree. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help you here, Tony. Why are you doing this?
I'm just saying, I don't think Zelda's worthy of number 2.
I think Zelda's absolutely worthy of number 2.
I would still put Zelda below Odyssey and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Well, yeah, and as I said earlier, had I played all these games, it would still be Super Mario, Zelda, and Flint Hook. But you don't see me pushing for Flint Hook for number 3.
I think. How about this? Yeah, I'm gonna propose this to you, Tony, and you tell me what you think. We put Zelda under Odyssey. We put Horizon under Night in the Woods.
No.
Okay, then no.
How about we make it Persona, Zelda, Mario, Horizon, Night in the Woods, and PUBG. Then Hellblade year.
I could see swapping PUBG and Horizon.
You gotta, give an inch, give a little here.
I honestly can't see Night in the Woods rising any higher than it's at.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now the list is like top 4, like things that a lot of people really, or top 5 rather, things that a lot of people really liked. Bottom 5 are just like, personals.
Yeah, it's true. I can live with this. Can you live with this now, Mishin?
I can't, but I'll do it anyway.
I like that. I like that honesty.
I still think Zelda should be lower.
I could move Zelda below Odyssey, if that is a general sentiment.
And that's about as far as I'm willing to move Zelda as well.
I mean, hey, that's for you guys. I haven't played Odyssey.
I think Zelda is fine where it's at.
I think Zelda's great where it's at. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I think where Zelda's at is fair. Like, me liking Mario Odyssey more than Zelda is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But I do.
Okay. I'm glad you do. Then, if Tony's the only one thinking that,
I'm cool with it.
All right. Do you want to fucking? Is there any last thoughts? Well, don't. What is this? What the fuck is this?
What?
Jesus. What is this? Hold on. Give me a second. I don't know why that happened. Okay, I'll just.
I'll take care of it.
I like this, Nabishan. I like these noises that you're making.
I mean, like, because like anything I say about Horizon now will just be like talking shit about it. I don't want to do that. That game's been beaten up enough this year for whatever the fuck reason. I don't even understand why. So.
Yeah, I think Horizon is a totally great game. I really enjoyed all the time I spent with it. I wish I had played more of it. I've nothing bad to say about it except Kid Aloy looks super weird.
She does, but I think that
in the grand scheme of
not
things,
as good in order to make Aloy like act as the character model herself be way better.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them devoting a lot more time to that.
In the grand scheme of things, Kid Aloy being weird looking is like a very minimal complaint about a game.
Yeah.
I think PUBG is awesome. I think they, lightning in a bottle, they made a really great multiplayer game. I think Super Mario Odyssey is this beautiful, immaculately well-polished Mario game. I think The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the most interesting video game world I've ever been in. And I think Persona 5 is one of the best Japanese role-playing games ever made.
Truth.
Mm-hmm.
If we're naming Persona 5 Game of the Year, which I'm totally fine with, we should talk about it. We should say why we think it should be number 1. And again, Scott, I know you didn't play it, so I'm not expecting you to have anything to say, but
this is probably the easiest Game of the Year number 1 slot we've ever had.
No shit.
We didn't even talk
there was
about
Undertale.
Undertale was an easy pick for us. I feel it wasn't it wasn't a lot of fighting. With that.
There was Witcher 3, but that was...
It's true. But like Undertale was just something that we had all connected with, so it was easier for us to be like, okay, like we all really like this game.
Mm-hmm.
But talk to me about Persona 5 Namshin.
Persona 5 is an immaculate game. It's a game where I still think about on a daily basis of this about my experiences, how much I connect to the main protagonist in that game. As far as like doing something instead of just like being just a background character and not doing anything when you see someone in trouble, no matter what the consequences is, like do the right thing if you know it's the right thing. It's a good life lesson for me. And like it's just Persona 5, dude. Like everything about it is just like I just absolutely love. I love everything about it. Like even like gameplay wise, like me going into mementos constantly. Like sure, mementos can be like the most boring thing to somebody, but like I love going down there because like I just loved doing the battles and the music and the gameplay loop. Like the loop of that game is just like so good for me, and I just love every minute that I play that game. And I even got emotional about the music this year. In a weird way for me. It felt like
You
really
never
weird.
saw it coming.
Everything about that game, literally everything about the game, I just love to fucking death.
Tony?
Yeah, I kind of ditto what Navishin said. And I've said before, when we were talking about our game of the year, the only like I have this like weird game for my number one game of all time, but for a reason not that it was a really good game. So for me personally, number two, which is where I have Persona 5, is like that like epitome of perfection in gaming, and I think that it takes a lot for me to say that about a game. And Persona 5 does that for me. Everything, any box that I have as far as what makes a game good, Persona 5 checks off, and everything from the game's style to the way that the story is. You play 100 hours and the game is paced so well that by the end you're like, man, I could have kept going. And like I don't know, I feel like it deals with a lot of like, I don't want to say topical, but like a lot of good issues that games don't normally get a chance to approach, and it has a really good way of dealing, of approaching those topics and humanizing the characters. You really connect with them, even the ones that are introduced later on in the game. They have a progression of character built in, and you really are able to connect with them. All of that put together, I think makes just an excellent experience.
And like I've played Persona, like the first time I played a Persona game was in 2008. I played Persona 3 Fez. I've been with that series for 10 years, and my expectations were through the roof. And I think in a lot of ways, Persona 5 didn't meet them, but in more ways than the other, like it exceeded them, like beyond measure. Like I went into Persona with the most doubt, the most concerns, the most worries that I think anyone could have, but still somehow Persona 5 left me grinning and joyous and jamming and excited to pick up the controller every time I went to play it. It is the sequel to my favorite game franchise. It is the culmination of years of work. It paid off because this is the game that went big for them. And I think everyone gets to see how good these guys are at making games. How, like, ear to the ground they are about mechanics and style, and also, like, talking about things that people aren't talking about. If you look at the way social media plays into this game and then look at the year 2017, like, you would be astounded at how smart this game is. And it's really impressive. It's really something else. It's really fun to play. It's really beautiful. And it just fucking sounds so good. And I think it's a great game. And I think all these games are great. I think 2017 was a year full of great games. Not just good games, but great games. And our top 10 games as a podcast are, in order, Persona 5, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Horizon Zero Dawn, Night in the Woods, Flint Hook, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Nier Automata, and Yakuza 0. And those are all games that I think you should check out if you like video games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's it. I think that's all we got. That's it for our Game of the Year deliberations. I hope people enjoyed listening to this. I sure as hell had a lot of fun doing it and having these conversations and getting these things off our chest and having the back and forth and comparing our favorite games to one another. Again, like, I hope you didn't, if, you know, the game that you love got cut and we didn't really talk about it, I'm sorry. If it wasn't as high.
It's just the Cuphead wasn't that good.
All right, don't say that. I'm sorry that, you know, we can't represent all video games, obviously. We can't represent all people, but I think, you know, we did a good job this year of talking about the games that really stood out to us. If we didn't talk about the game that stood out to you, doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean we wouldn't like it or we hate it by any means, unless it's Mass Effect and Andromeda. It just means that maybe we didn't get to it, or maybe that worked for you in a way it didn't or couldn't work for us. So, you know, don't let it get you too down. I want to say that for sure, unless it's Mass Effect and Andromeda.
Yeah, then fuck you.
Well, not fuck you, but like we had some issues with that one.
But like, I fuck you.
All right. Would you fuck me? I hope you liked like this 10 hours of podcast that we did. Also, I think this was the longest one we've ever done.
Is it really?
I think so.
Wow.
Fuck. But thank you so much for listening. We're gonna be back Friday, the day that this episode goes up, with special guest Brant Range. Back on our normal schedule. Hopefully, back to more consistency and having all four of us and everything on each show and whatnot. And back to just talking about video games. We got a lot of news to catch up with. Dark Souls coming to Switch. I don't know if y'all heard. I don't know. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nobshin, for joining me as always. Thank you all so much for listening. Really, 2017 was a great year for us, and I really appreciate everyone that tuned in to Extra Life or to our PAX content or to our podcast at all. We love you very much. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay rational. We'll talk to you all next